This is my water change system. I use this for my fresh water. So this is the RODI. I don't ever put salt in either one of these. These are just fresh water. They have their own on-off switches. And then this is a quick connect to remove this one from this one. And then that's a quick connect right there to remove this whole system right here. I have this right here connected to a switch that I turn on and off up there. So when I want to fill this up, I just turn it on, and this is a float valve that shuts off automatically when it gets to a certain level. And as you can see, it just kind of sits the same. Down here, I have it on this pink mat to level everything out on the table. And I put these little pink squares underneath this right here. That way it doesn't put any pressure right here, otherwise it could start leaking right here. So you want to make sure that you put those underneath on your table. I have a built-in system in my house, so it's all plumbed inside my house all the way upstairs. So I'll probably be cutting this off about right here, and you would just use this valve right here to turn it off, and then you can connect a hose barb right here if you want to get a long hose or a garden hose hooked up to that. This is the front side of it, of the pump. And then I have a T valve right here this is for the regular RO, and this is to fill it overnight. So this is just more of an emergency backup in case I needed RO water for cleaning stuff right now. And then it goes into another float valve inside here. Again, utilize these little foam squares to keep everything level, and that way it doesn't form any leaks towards the bottom here. As you can see, normal setup is this is shut off, this is turned on, this is shut off, and then the water circulates through that pump up here. And I just did a water change, so this is on. So this should always be turned off, and this is on to do the water change. So to make salt water. So the water will come through here and then up there and pumps into here and just keeps recirculating and keeps pumping. It will come with a heater inside of it. Just make sure it's set at 78, just like the temperature of the existing fish tank. These right here are the ball valve quick connects as well. So this comes off right here. This will probably be staying on for the rest of that piece. And then I'd be disconnecting it from right here. So there's just this long T valve right here that goes with that. This right here is more of a purge. That way if I need some quick salt water, or if I want to do my salinity test, it comes out right there. Right now I'm going to do a filter test. So I'm going to turn this on. And right away the RODI unit kicks in. So it's kind of doing its filtering part. Here's what it looks like. I just ordered the APEC water from Amazon. It comes in a big box. It's like a 3-year supply. It comes with replacement ones of these. You're going to want to replace this in probably 2 or 3 months. Maybe less than that. I did this in December. It will come with the handles like this, and it goes up and on this to take them off. To find out where you're at on good or not is the in and out on this for the total dissolved solids. Right now it's saying the out is, well, the in is 265 and the out is 66, 70. It's going up. When it first gets going, it's a higher number, but then it should go down to probably the 20s, 10s, 11. I can get it as low as 0 if you actually put like DI resin in this, and that's stuff that you buy on Amazon, but my water here doesn't need it, so I just use the RO unit for clear water and everything stays fine. But this number is now going downward, as you can see, and eventually it'll get probably down to 9 or 7 or 6. I always run it between 3 and 10, so that's basically it for that. I have the water just coming off of a regular hose, and it goes up into this. And then I have a shut-off valve that I shut off when I'm doing the filter changes. And this is the pressure valve right here that goes to these 3 tanks up here. So these 3 tanks are also just like that other tank that said A and B on it, but these keep straight up RODI water inside of it. And then I use this just coming off of one of the spouts on a Y connector. So that way I can fill up a container if I want to clean pieces or parts, or if I want to purge one of the corals or something. So this is how I get direct access to it out of these tanks. And they have a bladder inside that you can check for like air pressure. This thing is also hooked up, as you can see, in just a weird way with all of these all together. And they all just fill up till they top off and they stop. Mine is actually set to go upstairs, and it goes to the water valve, which will be on a timer that only comes on for me every night at 6 p.m. and it shuts off at 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. It's for just a couple of hours while I'll be home. I don't let my auto top off system run when I'm not here usually. It's automatic, it'll be on a timer, and it's all electronic, and I'll show you that when I'm doing the video up there. But these are the 3 tanks I use for auto top off, and you can also use them for regular fresh water. After they're filled up, you should shut them off, especially if you're going to use the DI resin. Otherwise it could burn out your DI resin. But that's only reason I would shut that off. And then you'll know you're out of water when the fish tank level is going down a little bit, and then just come downstairs, open it up, and let the DI fill it all at one time. DI lasts longer when you're doing it all at once. I just wanted to show you an update while this thing is kind of doing an autofill over there. It got down to 6 for me, and again, I do the filter changes when it hits 9 or 10, but just don't freak out when you first turn it on. You saw the higher numbers, but that's just the stuff sitting in the line. When it comes to salt, these are the bags that you should get. You should always get orange bag, because that's for corals. Purple is for fish only. So I kind of was mixing them for a while when I first started up, but now I just use that as an empty container. You're gonna get a bunch of this live rock here. This stuff right here, of course, rinse it with the RODI. I use this down in the sump where all those corals are in the bottom. And there's a starfish down in there, and you can kind of have all this down in there if you want, or you can put in the upper tank. Just understand, once you put this stuff in the tank, it's gonna cycle. It might put algae in the tank because you're restarting it for these rocks. But these are completely ready to go. They're not poisonous or anything. They came out of the tank, and basically they've been set in a RO bath for a while. So they're just sitting in here. You'll also see that there's some coral plugs in there for new corals in the future that you can glue. I use super glue gel when I frag my corals. It's just the normal stuff that you get off the shelf at like Home Depot and stuff, and it just says super glue gel. This big container right here, this lidded container, I believe holds 24 gallons. And on the fish tank upstairs, I have lines down the left-hand side that kind of tell you every level you would be in. Once you hit that lowest level on the lines upstairs, that's going to be this whole thing once it's to the fill level. Always remember to turn off the freshwater fill when you're filling your tank. Otherwise, while you're doing your water change, it's putting fresh water in there that doesn't have salt in it yet. So I always just turn this off after everything's full. Do my water mix. With this kind, directions are on the box. You can do it like right away. I usually let mine sit overnight, and then I wait till the temperature inside is just right. I have the temperature in here match my upstairs tank when I do it. Also, with the water change, I only put salt water in there. So I'll show you what it looks like after a couple water changes. It does have some clay residue in it, so it's gonna make this brownish kind of gross film. Sometimes it will come off. I just use, a spray, clean it out from the sink. I don't worry about RODI. Then I leave this thing upside down to dry out. This pipe right here, you just twist it and it will come out of this thing right here when you're ready to clean. And this pipe will just come straight out. And then make sure your heater is unplugged before you ever do a water change. That's just for while it's mixing. And then you should be able to disconnect this right here if you have that closed. And then basically you can remove this whole pipe, this whole barrel, clean it out. I just use a regular scrub brush on it. This thing right here is a refractometer. It's what tells you what salinity level you're at. This right here kind of tells you like the calibration of it to make sure you're right at the right levels. And this is showing for 0.026. I usually run mine between 0.024 and 0.025. I can do 0.026, but I just 0.24 or 0.25 is what I've been told by the fish stores. So you'll get this as well. You may want to invest in a digital one later on if you can. Otherwise, they do make the little simple ones that you can pick up that you put the water in. It has a little needle on it, but this doesn't take much to master. It's like a little line inside of it. There's YouTube videos on it. With my fish tank, I haven't done any water tests on it in over 2 years. So I had some tests, they were all expired, so they got tossed. You may want to pick up one of those ones that are $30 on Amazon that are for a reef while you get started, just while your water's getting used to being filtered and with the fish. And of course, never just dump tap water in the fish tank. You gotta use this filter system, otherwise you're gonna have algae everywhere in there and other little metal particles and stuff.